What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so today is do or die for the Clippers. Well, I guess for the Nuggets too, but look, the Nuggets have nothing to be pressured about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, yeah, they want to move on to the next round, but nobody will, you know, excoriate them. No one will publicly eviscerate them if they don't, beat the Clippers tonight because they have really earned the respect, I think, of most NBA fans and pundits at this time. And they are going to be a team, I think, to be reckoned with in the future. But right now, it's supposed to be the time of the Clippers. And the Clippers had what seemed to be an overwhelming 3-1 lead over the Denver Nuggets. And now we are going into a game 7. Now, we're repeating ourselves because in the first round, the Utah Jazz, largely behind the efforts of Donovan Mitchell, had a 3-1 series lead over the Denver Nuggets, and Denver was able to, in a close Game 7 battle, hard-fought battle, they were able to defeat the Utah Jazz and move on. Well, history repeat itself. I know one thing. If the Clippers lose this game, Kawhi falls, in my estimation, as a player. He'll still be a great player, but I will no longer call him the best player in the NBA. And Doc Rivers would need to be fired. Okay? Fired. I like Doc Rivers, but no. This would be this would be an even more inexcusable collapse of a 3-1 lead than you had 5 years ago when Houston came back from their 3-1 deficit against Lob City Clippers. Um, Look, I'm going to put this out there because it's a possibility. I know people are going to talk about it if it occurs. So I'm just going to go out and say it. Okay. Um, the NBA is a sport, but it's also a business. There's politics involved. And there is a possibility that we might see a little chicanery today or this evening. All right. It's a possibility. Um, I'm pretty sure that the NBA, the powers to be, would much prefer a Lakers versus Clippers series rather than a Lakers versus Nuggets series. Okay. I know LeBron fans would rather see that because they think that would be the easier matchup in his pathway to a fourth title, which somehow magically in their minds will be more than Mike's 6 rings. I don't know why, but it is what it is. I guess they use that magical Nick Wright theory. This ring means 2 rings, or that ring means 2 rings. But anyway, there's a possibility you might see some officiating be heavily in Clippers' favor today. It's a possibility. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that just goes with the territory. Every team. I've seen a lot of LeBron teams get beneficial calls, but LeBron fans will tell you straight up and down that they didn't notice it. You know what I'm saying? But it's a possibility. You might see Jokic get in foul trouble early on. You might see, know, if someone's doing a good job containing Kawhi or Paul George, you might see that defender get in foul trouble all of a sudden. I'm just telling you, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, that still often is not enough to beat a team because you can't be too out of pocket with it because then you're going to have another situation like Game 6 of 2002, which was just an insult to the viewer. So they're a lot more coy with it. They're not as obvious with it. But having said all that, there still is uh, the Denver Nuggets could still win this game. Okay, because we've seen the Clippers give up two double-digit leads in a row. So this is going to be a hard-fought game where anything short of a 25-point lead is not going to be safe. It's not going to be safe. Hell, even that wouldn't be safe when you look at the fact that they were up by, what, 19 or something like that and lost by 14. So that wouldn't even be safe. They got to beat them by 30 something or more to be safe because this team is very resilient. And it's going to be on Kawhi Leonard, man. I'm sorry. I know the media keep talking about Paul George, Paul George, Paul George, and they cite his elimination, poor shooting record, elimination games. His overall shooting has been atrocious. Whatever. At the end of the day, I expect Paul George to have a decent game. I don't know if he's going to have a great game. Hopefully he does. But I think this is more on Kawhi Leonard more than anything else. Okay, this is a legacy game for Kawhi Leonard. This is a game that people will remember years from now and bring up when he rose to the occasion when he needed to be great. And if Kawhi Leonard does that tonight and rise to the occasion and has a vintage Kawhi Leonard performance when his team needs him the most, then once again I will consider him the best player in the league. But if he doesn't do that, you know what I'm saying? He's invisible tonight. You know, he doesn't show any aggression and fire. Look, I understand that not everybody's going to be rah, 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 rah. Okay? His personality may be a little closer to that of a Joe Dumars, at least externally. It's closer to a Joe Dumars or Alex English. Or maybe, as far as outward appearances, maybe an Adrian Dantley. But internally, the fire is smoldering with this guy. Supposedly, okay? Supposedly, we need you to be great, Kawhi Leonard. Okay? Because I'm going to tell you something that's going to piss me off. What's going to piss me off is if Denver plays like fucking, you know, Denver just plays like a fucking, let's say they just play their ass off tonight, right? Denver comes out smoking and they beat the shit out of the Clippers tonight, right? What's going to piss me off is if in the Lakers series, all of a sudden they look like shit. Jamal Murray can't buy a bucket. Michael Porter Jr. inconsistent again. Jokic turns the ball over every fucking place. He can't fucking make threes. All of a sudden, Denver shoots only 25% from three against the Lakers, and the Lakers just blow them out. That's gonna piss me off. Like, you did all of that for that shit. All of that just to show up. Like, damn, we could at least seen the Clippers get blown out rather than you motherfuckers. That's what's gonna piss me off if they lose to this fucking team. They're gonna be like, they lost to a team that got swept by the Lakers. What the fuck I'm gonna say? Well, it's matchup. Everybody wanna hear that shit. So at the end of the day, man, this is on Kawhi Leonard. This is on the Clippers. Because if they lose, man, I I I might take a vacation from YouTube. I might just log out and log back in about a week from now. Now, I ain't gonna do that. And I gotta take the heat. Told you, man, it was the Raptors. It was the Raptors team that elevated him. He ain't shit. Missing all these games, he ain't shit. So, it's on you. Matter of fact, let me bring back an old character that I used to use to motivate LeBron. I don't know if you guys even remember him. This is the old school. People who've been following me for 7, 8 years might remember him. Listen here there, champ. This is Mickey Solsky there. Kawhi, I'm going to need you to be good out there tonight, dear. We're going to need you to come out there and be the champion that we know you can beat. I mean, look, kid, this is the Denver Nuggets we're talking about here. The Denver Nuggets. This will be mopping the floor with these bums there. So I need you to come out there, Kawhi, and show the fire. Be a champion that we know just can be. I used to motivate LeBron, but I gave up on him because he needed a super team there. He ran from Cleveland and went be with a super team there. But I know Yus can does it. I know Yus can does it. So goes out there and lead your team to victory. Umfuriaki.